keto is too expensive. And here's what I'm going to say.
Being sick is expensive.
Eating the standard American diet costs more than eating a ketogenic, proper human diet, carnivore lifestyle. Welcome to Keto Beyond the Couch, episode 300.
I'm Rachel.
And I'm Joe.
And we are two crazy ketos.
And if you're new to our channel, welcome.
Yes, welcome. If you're new here, please say hi in the comments.
Now here on Two Crazy Ketos, we do different things like recipe videos and we do product reviews. We talk about various keto topics, and every Monday we go live on Keto Beyond the Couch because life exists beyond the couch.
You can find us in different social media platforms like Facebook, Instagram, and X.
And we have a website, which is twocrazyketos.com, and that's where you're going to find all of our different recipes. Now we do upload at least 5 new videos every single week, so make sure you subscribe to our channel.
And don't forget to hit the little bell icon, and that way every single time we do something 300 weeks in a row, you'll be alerted to it.
So we say all the time that we are consistently inconsistent.
Not here, we're not.
Except for Keto Beyond the Couch. This is the one thing that we have been consistent with for 300 straight weeks. And it has really changed over the last 6 years almost.
We began on a couch. It was keto on the couch. It was just me and you chatting.
Sitting on a couch. And the problem is that it was a pain. First of all, I was horrible. I had no idea what I was doing in video. Like when you look at some of our original videos, like we're orange, like I didn't know how to color grade. I didn't even know how to set up a camera. But we would sit on the couch and we would have to set up these cameras and tripods and then try to have things in my lap to do things. And, you know, we did that for a long time until COVID hit.
And then we moved in here. We
started doing it live.
So I think it's pretty precious that like there's a really good chance this may be the last Keto Beyond the Couch that's in our studio. Of course, everything is packed up. It's just that we are physically in what used to be the studio here in Coconut Creek. But I think it's so fitting. So many beautiful things have happened here on this set. We've raised money for veterans. We've celebrated Christmases together. We have provided kids ministry through a pandemic. Like there's just so many beautiful things. And certainly at the top of our list and on my heart is all the victory that we have cheered for, that you guys have shared with us, that we've had the opportunity to spotlight on Keto Beyond the Couch.
I do think it's appropriate that the 300th episode is back here. So we are back in Coconut Creek because we are leaving on the 2KK getaway cruise tomorrow morning. But like Rachel said, everything is packed. We literally have a table in this room, and we're using my camera. I brought it out of the RV, but we don't have all of our screens, our monitors. We're right up against the wall because everything is pretty much cleared out in here. And I love the fact that, yeah, this will probably be the last ever Keto Beyond the Couch. Even in this house. I mean, it just so happened to be that we had to pre-record it. So we were here, and I think it's really fitting because even when we moved into this studio, it didn't look like this. For those of you who have been around with us for a while, we had wood walls, and we were using green screens and not very good at it either.
Hanging cloth backdrops.
It was like a hodgepodge of things. And then a few years ago, I tore all the wood out and I did sheetrock and we put up these sound panels. The sound panels, by the way, will come to our new studio when we build it. But I love the fact that we get to end up right back here. Now, in celebration of Keto Beyond the Couch, we're going to do a giveaway. But we're going to talk about that giveaway at the end of Keto Beyond the Couch. Why? So that you keep watching Keto Beyond the Couch.
Well, and while you're thinking of it, subscribe, hit the like button on this, subscribe to the channel, hit the bell button. If you want to give back, if we've blessed your life in any way, please go ahead and subscribe to the channel. when we get to 100,000 subscribers, talk about a giveaway. We're going to be giving away a cruise.
On a 2KK cruise.
Yeah.
So we're going to give away one person like a cruise on their, on our next 2KK cruise. Hopefully that happens by the 2KK birthday cruise, which is next December. All of that information is down below. It's December 4th through the 8th. Shipping, sailing out of Miami. And we're actually going to be celebrating my 55th birthday while we're on that cruise. So super excited about that. But if you are new here, welcome to Keto Beyond the Couch. Keto Beyond the Couch is all about our subscribers. We do this every Monday. It airs at 10 a.m. Eastern Time. And we love to highlight our subscribers. We love to go through and find questions that people have asked on our social media over the last week, and also highlight success stories. We always say, please share your story. Your story is so important for two reasons. Number one, it is really going to help remind you of where you came from. We're actually going to see that in one today. But then also, it really does help inspire other people, because there's somebody out there right now going, I don't think anybody else understands what I'm going through.
That's right.
And then when you share your story, they're like, oh, somebody else gets me. And so it's really important that you share your story. Now, if you get any kind of value out of our content, we really appreciate it. If you would, like Rachel said, share our videos, subscribe, hit that bell notification, use our links down below, or you can buy us a cup of coffee with that link down below in the description. Let's jump right into Keto Beyond the Couch. We're going to start off with our first post from Trish. Trish put up this meme. It says, it's not about perfection, it's about perseverance. You're doing amazing. Keep going.
Keep going. That's the message. Like, I hope that if you're thinking, boy, I wish I could be consistent in the area of, what I'm eating, nutrition, start with what you're already being consistent about. Like, brag on yourself for what you're consistent about. We're taking a moment, Joe, we pick at ourselves, right? Saying that we're consistently inconsistent. But here we go. We found a place that we're doing good. Just keep going. And so don't spend a lot of time being frustrated that you're not perfect. Like, focus on what you are doing right, because you're doing a lot of things right, and just keep going.
So the next one we have is a subscriber of the week. This is actually from Daryl.
Hey, Daryl.
Daryl said, hopefully this gives some inspiration and hope to someone out there. Some of the healing since August of 2022. Nothing is impossible. I've had 3 surgeries, including a major oral surgery, 3 different cancers, severe diabetes, high blood pressure, severe acid reflux, plantar fasciitis, and so much more. I've had 18 medications are gone.
Wow.
I still have hard, permanent nerve and back injuries, but are now something that I can live with without medication.
What a victory.
I have friends that always say, he had 2 different posts. I have friends that always say, I don't remember you being that big. And then I show them pictures and they're shocked. Some of my worst to some of my best, with only changing what food I eat since August of 2022. I also incorporated fasting for healing, and all of this is from food and fasting. God is good. And look at this. So first of all, let's look at that CGM. 496 to 78.
That is unbelievable.
Look at the medications that are gone.
Wow.
And then you look at Daryl.
Oh my gosh. And what is the biggest victory that you see there? I mean, because you're seeing the weight loss, certainly, but when you see all of those medications gone out of your life, as well as the side effects that go with all of those medications, the dependency that you have, the cost that you have, right there, I'm like, wow, Daryl, you're looking smoking hot, dude. But like, when I see those prescriptions and know that they're gone, that's smoking hot as well. And then when you see those CGM numbers, I mean, he was really at death's door.
Yeah. People, I see this all the time. Keto is too expensive. And here's what I'm going to say.
Being sick is expensive.
Eating the standard American diet costs more than eating a ketogenic, proper human diet, carnivore lifestyle. In my personal opinion, and you may disagree, but in my personal opinion, eating an all meat, all beef carnivore diet is cheaper than eating the standard American diet. Now, why do I say that? Because yes, people are going to say, well, beef's expensive. Yes, it is. But if you're following a standard American diet the way we were spending $6 a day each on a coffee. We were spending $150 a month on an arthritis medication for me every single month. We were buying Tylenol, acid reflux medications. You were buying Pepto-Bismol, Beano. Then you add in, like, let's be honest, and we were couponers. When you go into a grocery store, boxes of cereal, they cost more money now than a pound of ground beef. I mean,
True.
So when somebody tells me that the keto diet is too expensive, I look at what is going on outside of keto in a standard American diet and the cost of going to the doctor and the cost of medications and all of that stuff went away when we started eating a proper human diet.
I think of it as very just like it's the easiest like dismissive tool that you can just pull out quickly to throw at somebody that cares about you and is trying to say, I want you to get healthy, try keto. Yep. It's you just throw it, I can't afford to do that. And it's kind of like you're waving this dismissive attitude, just be like, go away. If you do the research, if you do like the shopping, and you think about what you're letting go of and what you can get by with. And I mean, we joke we were hot dogs for Halloween because you can just do keto with hot dogs and mustard and get started.
You found hot dogs in Walmart for $1 a package. Now, are they the cleanest? No. But if you ate 5 packages a day of those dollar lips and buttholes hot dogs from Walmart,
than cereal,
you would still be healthier than eating the standard American diet.
It's a start.
Let's move on to the next one. This one is from Mel.
Hey, Mel.
Mel said, all of this year, since I had a virus in January, my thyroid numbers have been out of whack. I got sick of waiting for the public system to get me on a waiting list. So I asked my doctor to refer me to a private endocrinologist. I saw one today. And my TSH is finally in a normal range.
Yay.
He says nothing further to do. It was a viral thyroiditis that has gone away. And I can just get my thyroid labs done once a year from now on. And I was expecting I have to pay out of pocket and get a Medicare rebate, but he bulk billed the visit. So I paid nothing out of pocket.
What a blessing. You know, sometimes we can be very critical of people in healthcare and all of that sort of thing. There's all kinds of red tape, or you have a doctor that you're interacting with and you feel like that they're not supportive of your keto life. But here we see hope that there are people to work with us. And I'm so thankful that you got the care that you needed.
Let's take a quick fade to black and come back with the rest of the comments.
I cannot believe that, like, this right here, this is the Christmas shirt that I have at my disposal. That's it. I bought it like this weekend and I have antler ears. And you know that Santa Claus normally shops out of my closet, but everything is packed up.
I am going to miss our subscriber Christmas tree this year.
Me too. And I just want to say thank you so much for everybody that answered the call for me and have started like posting pictures in our Mighty Networks and in our Facebook group of like their home decorations, because we can't have that this year. And so we always hoped to provide some fun and some festivity for whatever holiday was going on throughout the year, you know, on our channel. And so this year we're in some need of Christmas. We need some holidays. So thank you for sharing what's going on in your home. It's beautiful.
For all of you who have shared ornaments with us for our subscriber Christmas tree, that is one of the few things that is moving with us.
That sure is.
It is packed up. We're just not going to put them up this year. So next year, we will be back to our subscriber Christmas tree. Okay, first comment we have is from Debbie.
Hey, Debbie.
I so liked Redmond Real Salt's chili lime with organic stevia. I was very surprised when they took out the stevia, and I was like, as I like the taste of my deli meat. Why, I don't know. I just like it for that. Silly me looked on Amazon for the old chili lime and read the ad well and enlarged the ingredients, and it said organic stevia leaf both times I ordered 2. Disappointing when they arrived as they can't be returned, so I now have 4 unopened new chili lime bottles that I will never use. Okay, so yeah, so Redmond took out the chili lime because I think it was because they felt that they had the sweet one. A lot of people like the old version. I wish they would bring back the stevia. I like the new version as well, but I wanted to mention this because something that people don't know at Amazon, there are certain products that you buy, usually food products, that are not returnable. But if it comes like that, like this is definitely not the product that you had ordered based on what was on the ad. Or like we've had things like we would order like cans of something and we got one where 3 cans came empty. It got damaged in shipping.
There was just nothing in it.
What you do is go down below on the Amazon page and get help, and then keep clicking through until you get an agent, and the agent can reimburse you.
Yeah.
Usually, I'm not gonna say they always do, but you can't automatically refund things. But if you get to a live agent or actually call them, they will usually make an exception. Like, for example, we bought allulose once, and when the bag got here, the bag had a big slice in it. It was all over the box.
That was fun.
And so they basically just refunded us, or sometimes they'll send you something new. But I would just explain to them, like, listen, this was supposed to have stevia based on this. And I think what's happened is that, you know, whoever was selling it, I don't know if it was Redmond selling it or somebody else, is probably had still the old picture and didn't update the pictures. It's also a reminder with small businesses like Redmond, like Keto Chow, stuff like that, try to buy directly from the company. It ends up being usually cheaper buying directly from Redmond or Keto Chow or something like that, because when you do, you can use our coupon links, our discount link, like the one for Redmond down below, and you're going to get 15% off. It may take an extra day to get, but in the end, you're going to get better customer service directly from Keto Chow or Redmond or whatever company. So when it's a small business like that, I always encourage people, go directly to the company, because Amazon takes a big portion of it. That's why actually Keto Chow charges more money if you buy it on Amazon. Next one we have is from Tammy.
Hi, Tammy.
I'm thinking about doing the beef butter bacon and egg challenge with Joe and Rachel at the end of the month. I heard Rachel say a couple of times to start weaning off of caffeine now instead of waiting to do so when a challenge starts. I'm wondering if it includes morning coffee or other caffeine consumed throughout the day. I'm going to tell you, I usually start the weaning down about a week before. Rachel starts now.
I drink more coffee than him.
But I drink a lot of more soda and other things. But it's really everything.
Yeah.
Like, you're going to go through caffeine withdrawal. Just be warned.
I just want you to enjoy the experience more. And we find that people that wait, that they delay, even people who feel like they've kind of weaned a little bit, usually the first 12 days can be very hard. And it's not that you have a beef aversion. It's not the eggs. It's not that, like, I don't like bacon like everybody likes bacon. I'm telling you, it's the coffee. It's the caffeine withdrawal. So if you have any caffeine in your life, if you chew caffeine gum, if you use any type of caffeine supplement, check all of your bottles, check all your labels. I actually posted in Mighty Networks and on the Facebook group a post about coffee and how much is in servings that we don't realize how much we're consuming. I am not like a huge proponent of like what they suggest is like the recommended daily allowance of things, but in coffee's case, I feel like or caffeine in general, I think they're fairly conservative and for what the nation drinks. And it's shocking when you start adding it up. Like, take a moment and add up, like, how much are you honestly drinking every day? And think about going from that to one reasonable coffee experience.
And again, we're not even saying caffeine is bad.
No.
Caffeine is a stimulant. It's like nicotine. Nicotine is a stimulant. They're very much the same thing. But what ends up happening is, you know, a lot of us don't realize, like, we cut out coffee, but there's caffeine in so many other things. A lot of times for a lot of us, there's less caffeine in the coffee than in other things that we're consuming.
Right.
So I would just start weaning down on caffeine at least about a week before, unless you're okay with going through the withdrawals. Like, Rachel should have started last year, because I hate dealing with Rachel when she goes through caffeine.
It's rough. I mean, you think about Celsius, Monster, like the energy drinks too, even if there's zero sugar, like, it's a caffeine drink.
Next one's from Angela.
Hey, Angela.
I just looked up my DEXA scan results. My doctor had not reported them to me, so I went around the office and logged into their website where the scan was done. It sucks. My osteoporosis in my lower back has gone from negative 2.5 to negative 3.2, and the right hip from negative 2 to negative 2.4, left hip from negative 2.3 to negative 2.6. These changes are from April of 2021 until November of 2024. Any advice? Number one, we are not doctors, nurses, or health professionals. But based on somebody who has arthritis and has dealt with, different issues when it comes to bones and ligaments and stuff, my suggestion would be, number one, consider taking a K2 and supplement. Also, start lifting.
Yeah. I know that sounds crazy.
Lifting. When I say lift what you can lift. I'm not saying go to the gym and try to lift 3 times your body weight.
No.
If you can start working on your bone density and start consuming more meat. When you're in that situation, the more meat you consume, the better you're going to be. That's where you're going to get a lot of your vitamins. So if you start consuming more meat, make sure you're getting that collagen in. Bone broth, that gelatinous,
bone marrow,
amazing stuff that you get when you get bone broth. So if you start consuming that stuff in combination with lifting, a lot of people think lifting is only for the muscle, but it's also going to help your bones.
Yeah.
Next one is from Laquetta.
Hey, Laquetta.
I have a wall partially built with busted asphalt filled with dirt and then some really good old compost. Today, I was able to work down just a bit for a good solid grounding and brought a few loads of sandstone over with some old busted up cinder blocks. My next step is to play with adult Legos, stacking the stones into a second wall, creating a flat yard off of my porch for a small patch of grass. Kitchen gray water will have a second job. And a small garden between the 2 walls. I need to decide if I want a kitchen garden for seasonings or an old lady rose and flower bed. I just want to say This is what keto's all about.
This is what keto is all about. Like, you do not see anything about beef, butter, bacon, and eggs in here, but it is sponsored in part by Keto. It helps you get healthy so that you can turn your attention to other things. Do you remember when everything was just about gaining and losing weight and just like powering through the day, finding enough energy somehow from morning to get through work time and then like go to bed, collapse. Yep. Like, our life was so small. Like, literally, you are building a bigger, more expansive life with your health.
And you don't need to go to the gym because it's functional fitness.
Yes.
So yesterday was my 54th birthday. I talked to my mom. My mom was like, do you feel 54? I'm like, I feel 30. I don't feel 54. And I probably sound like a broken record. We're rebuilding a house. Now, I know there are a lot of people that are going to say, well, that's not a big deal at 54 years old. There's a lot of people in construction who are in their 50s.
Sure.
And that is true. But I was morbidly obese in a wheelchair. And to think that I am rebuilding a house, just Rachel and I, carrying sheetrock, carrying tiles, carrying flooring on my feet for 12 hours a day, when, no kidding, I lived on Vicodin for 25 years. Every single day I had to take, and I was not a drug addict, it was prescribed to me, but I needed it to function. I needed the Vicodin. I needed the arthritis medication because I was in so much pain.
Yeah.
And when I think that I have not had to take an arthritis pill or a painkiller in almost 8 years, that is only the result of changing my diet.
And think about like how that's blessed our marriage. Think about like if you are the spouse of somebody or you have a loved one that you care about, and I saw him hurt every single day. Every day I saw him force himself to do the things that he needed so that we as a family could pay our bills. And thank you for that season that you powered through that. You did what you needed to do so that we could, have food on the table. But now to see you, it's just such a beautiful thing. And to watch you change your mind about yourself in your own eyes, because that's a really important thing. We talk about
I
like
didn't think I'd live to see
self-esteem.
50.
He had no hope for the future, and definitely I would say you categorized yourself as somebody that was like a bother, because you felt like you were less than for some reason. Like, you know, like I was a nice person for marrying you because I'm taking on all of this baggage of a person who has mobility issues, you know, and is overweight. I never thought that, but like when you believe that for yourself, it becomes the truth to you. So to see you see yourself as like, oh, I can do that. And always like have confidence. Now, sometimes a lot of confidence, like you walk in and I'm going to handle this electric or plumbing or whatever. And he's got a swagger to him. Like, I know I can do this. You know, it's exciting to see you feel that way about yourself.
Next one's from Laura.
Hey, Laura.
Question. So I've tried a no sweetener core keto chow, and no, I just can't. But I'm still doing the keto chow with my Ninja Creamy and was wondering if I can use a bit of allulose.
Sure.
Do I add it before or after freezing, like mixing? Any thoughts? So yeah, so the unsweetened core, the purpose of the unsweetened keto chow core is not necessarily for you to drink it unsweetened. It is so that you can choose the sweetener of your choice to put into that keto chow. So I would not advise using sucralose, because obviously if you use sucralose, you might as well use regular keto chow. Well, actually I shouldn't say that, because if you're using keto chow core is a beef protein. Okay. And so that option isn't with the sucralose. But you can use liquid sucralose. You could add your own liquid stevia if you want to use your own liquid stevia. You could use liquid monk fruit. You could use powdered allulose. And I would, as if you're making it like in a creamy, I would make it ahead of time. So mix it up like you were going to drink it. And then from there, what you want to do is then put it in your Ninja Creamy. One of the things that we have now found is, because we used to make our Ninja Creamies like right away, what I've started now is I mix it up and then I leave it in that creamy container for usually at least 6 to 12 hours before I freeze it. And I find it has a better flavor, and the flavor comes through more, because what it used to happen is we would literally mix it up, put it in the creamy container and put it in the freezer.
It didn't have a time to
and
settle.
Then you didn't get this time for the flavor to evolve. And sometimes you'd get that little bit of a vitamin taste. So I think it's always best to make your creamies, or even make all of your keto chows the day before and then freeze them the next day.
Yeah.
Next one is from Angie.
Hey, Angie.
Why does my cottage cheese have 16 grams of carbohydrates, 13 grams from added sugar? What? It also has maltodextrin and pineapple juice. This is why we are supposed to read labels. It's supposed to be cheese. Went straight into the trash. Yeah, when I was growing up, my favorite cottage cheese, and I thought I was eating healthy, was the pineapple cottage cheese.
Sure.
Right?
Sure.
Now, obviously, we know better. And a lot of the cottage cheeses on the market have garbage ingredients. And they're very high in carbs. Now, cottage cheese in itself is generally a little bit higher in carbs because it's got more whey protein in it. And so that's got the extra sugar. We always advise to get the best best cottage cheese is Good Culture cottage cheese.
Dude, that stuff is delicious.
And they have a double cream one.
Angels sing when I eat that. That's all I know.
They also, by the way, if you try the Good Culture, not all the stores carry it, but I know our Publixes carry it. They have a lactose-free version.
It's cheaper than the other ones.
It's significantly cheaper, like $2 a tub cheaper. And honestly, I don't notice a difference in the taste.
Well, I noticed a difference between the double cream.
Well, that's it. But the double cream is hard to find.
Yeah.
You know, but I don't know, from the regular full fat, like 4% or whatever it is, to the lactose free, I don't notice a difference in change in taste, but I do notice a difference in my wallet.
Right.
And I really love cottage cheese, so I would do that. But yeah, it's unfortunate. This is why we have to check labels. I'm seeing more and more heavy creams that are adding more and more stuff to it, where it's not just cream. Like, I'm seeing heavy creams that have skim milk in them.
Do not trust pretty packaging either. One strategy that I see some businesses doing is it's almost like they'll put a beautiful package, or they will up the price because people are thinking better, healthier comes with a cost premium. And then you look at, and they'll have like trashier ingredients. So do not fall for like a heavy price or pretty packaging, or even if you've bought it before, just take a second, work that into your schedule when it comes like, hey, I'm going to go grocery shopping and I'm going to need 10 extra minutes for this chore because I'm going to have to read all the labels.
Let's take a quick fade to black and come back with the rest of the comments. Okay, first one we have, or next one we have, is from Karen.
Hi, Karen.
Said, my husband and I are going on a back-to-back cruise December 7th through the 21st.
Woo.
I'm sure after ship food for 2 weeks, beef, butter, bacon, egg is going to be an awesome welcome change. I put awesome in, by the way. It is my first challenge ever, so I'm so excited to see any and all results, especially the non-scale victories in it to win it.
I'm definitely going to say that I'm glad that you're joining us. It's going to be awesome. I love a ship. I'm looking forward to, on this cruise, being able to take advantage of all of the amenities. Yes, the food is free flowing. The coffee is free flowing on a ship. But you know what else is? Entertainment, games, like rest, the spa, a hot tub. Like, there's a lot of things on a ship to like indulge in. And I'm thankful that like at this point, I really indulge on like hanging out with the people that I love. There's just so much more to do than just eat.
Now, I am going to advise you, Karen, I know you're going on a cruise, and we advise everyone, when you come on a 2KK getaway cruise, there is no judgment. You eat whatever you want. We don't even tell them, on the cruise, like as the travel agent, who organizes the group, I don't even tell Royal Caribbean, hey, we're keto.
Right.
I'm never going to tell the waiter, like, don't bring bread out. Now, if you come out to a specialty restaurant, now on the 2KK getaway cruises, we don't do specialty restaurants. But like when we go on a low carb cruise and we do specialty restaurant, if we're sitting with 2 or 3 other people, I'll ask around, is everybody okay if we tell them not to bring bread? We'll ask at our table on the 2KK getaway cruise in main dining room, is everybody else okay? But if you want to have desserts, have at it. If you want to eat bread, have at it. But I do advise people, I would try to avoid it. You don't want to go on a cruise and then eat a bunch of junk, coming home going, well, I'm going to do beef, butter, bacon, egg anyway, because you're going to have to take it off. And what kind of better results is, I'm not saying be perfect, but if you are better than maybe other people are. I'm also going to challenge you. I'd like to see a photo in Mighty Networks of your pizza stack.
Yes.
If you don't know what a pizza stack is, whether you are Karen or you're anybody else going on a cruise, if you go on a cruise, whether it be the 2KK getaway cruise, the low carb cruise, any cruise, post your pizza stack picture. So what is a pizza stack? We call this the Nurse Cindy Challenge.
That's right.
Pretty much all cruise lines have a free pizza place. You go down to that pizza place, you get pies, as many as you want. They're free. You scrape all the toppings off, you eat them all. I usually eat at least 2 pies on every cruise. And then you're going to stack up all the crusts on a plate.
Right.
And then post a picture of it in Mighty Networks.
See, how high can you go? We're actually going to be having a prize for the person on the 2KK getaway cruise who has the highest personal stack.
And it's funny because when you go on a low carb cruise or on a 2KK getaway cruise, the pizza place gets wind of it after a while, and they'll just look around. I think it was the 2KK getaway cruise, they started actually just putting it in a bowl for people because they're like, we're just making this pizza and they're throwing out the bread. But it's funny, one time we went in there and there's like 6 tables with stacks of crust. So send us your picture.
It's a beautiful thing because right there, like you're not even trying, but you're kind of being like, it's like you're giving a testimony to keto. Like I can enjoy all of the things on top of the pizza, which is why I get the pizza, right? It's the cheese and it's the toppings. That's the most delicious thing. And so I can still have pizza on keto and enjoy myself and discard all of this stuff that's going to be really inflammatory to me.
Okay, Rita's got a question. Said,
Hey,
has
Rita.
anybody tried the Eversense CGM that's supposed to last a whole year? I'm curious if it is reliable or not. Okay, so the Eversense CGM. Number one, if your doctor doesn't write a prescription and you get your insurance covered, like where he writes at a point where your insurance will cover it, it is ridiculously expensive. We're talking $4,400 for the year. Mm-hmm. If your insurance will cover it, you might be able to get it for a couple $100. I've done a lot of research on the Eversense. Personally, here's my thing, is unless you are a type 1 diabetic, maybe a type 2 diabetic, but listen, if you're a type 2 diabetic and you're really doing keto well, that should go away after a while, where you don't have to constantly check your blood sugar. But if you're a type 1 diabetic, I think that's who this might be an option for. But if you're just doing this for experimentation like us, I would strongly advise against it. And here's why. If you don't know, the way the Eversense works, what makes it last a year, and the fact that they say that you don't have to worry about sleeping on or anything like that, is they're going to put a sensor under your skin. So you have to have actually a doctor take a little tiny sensor and embed it under your skin. And then you have this CGM device that you can just put on and off. I'm not super keen about them putting any foreign bodies into my body.
I've just had too many people where, because you're also thinking it's going to stay there, it's not going to travel, but like,
what if it moves? That happens.
I've known several people that have had to have different things removed because the thing that is exogenous to our body, like, traveled within the body.
Yeah, so I think that if you are a type 1 diabetic, it's definitely something I would investigate, because you pretty much, as a type 1 diabetic, I really think type 1 diabetics need to have a CGM.
Yeah.
I mean, I know there are plenty of them that don't, but I think that with the technology of a CGM, the good ones like the Dexcoms, I think that it is amazing technology for a type 1 diabetic. But if you're a type 2 diabetic, you can fix a lot of things with food.
Yeah.
And to put another foreign body just to check blood sugar, I think you're better off with the thing that, and you know what? I don't need to wear it for a couple of weeks and go that way.
Well,
and also not spend $4,400.
I was going to say, you could buy a year's worth of disposable ones and you're going to come under like a lot less money.
Yeah. Next one we have is from Debbie.
Hey, Debbie.
She put up this meme. It says, the inner conversation you have with yourself is the most important one. Make sure it's healthy and positive.
Wow. Yes. Mic drop, as far as I'm concerned, because
there's nothing to say.
If you are still having negative thoughts about yourself, we have to change them. Yeah. We just have to change it.
Next one's from Kathy.
Hey, Kathy.
I was just reviewing a list of meat for beef, butter, bacon, and egg, and I realized it's no pork, no chicken, or fish. This will be a challenge for sure. I'm looking forward to it. Yeah. So these are some things that we're going to address in the beef, butter, bacon, and egg course. But I do want to clear up things. So if you go back 3 years ago when we interviewed Dr. Berry and we basically did beef, butter, bacon, and egg, and it became this big thing, one of the reasons he talks about chicken, and we've talked about this even recently with why we're doing what we're doing on our farm, is that it's what chicken are fed, but also chicken is very, very lean. Even when you eat the skin, you're not going to get that fat content that you're going to get eating beef. And then also, what are they being fed? So that's why ruminant animals are the best, because they can take what isn't the greatest for our body and turn it into what's awesome for our body.
Right.
But also, it is beef, butter, bacon, egg is a lot about getting in touch with satiety. And let's be honest, chicken wings are my favorite food. Chicken wings and pizza, my favorite foods. I can definitely overeat chicken wings. It is not that easy to overeat steak. So that is something to just think about. So when it comes to pork, you can eat pork, but eat the fatty pork. So remember, bacon is on the list. So if you want to eat pork belly, all of that stuff, I think you're all good. But I do think you should still be limiting the pork, as Dr. Berry talks also about in that interview that we did with him, for the same reason of why you should be focusing on ruminant animals, and that is, what is pork eating?
Yeah.
And so that it's not just the meat that we're eating, it's what are they eating. And the difference between ruminant animals and pork and poultry is the way they process it with the rumen.
It's actually really exciting because if you've been like, hey, we've been eating a lot of like pork and chicken and fish on repeat. Yeah, we're not used to this. It's not something we've been doing, but it's kind of exciting to think that we are going to be doing something differently. Like I get to go to a different area in the grocery store under the beef and look for things and get really creative because we get stuck in a rut. I like it when we mix things up a little bit. It's kind of neat to start January with something new.
Next one's from Andy.
Hey, Andy.
Said, trust the process. The scale went up by a lot, but my shorts from the summer still fit. And packing for the cruise just got a little less stressful. Thank goodness. The tape measure is my non-scale victory for today. I'm confident in knowing that this little vacation to Florida will do me a world of good and will help me in getting to 2025 in a healthy state of mind and determined to work harder instead of giving up at the first sign of distress.
That is so important. I don't know if you can tell, like, pull up the last couple Keto Beyond the Couches, like right before Anthony's wedding, right around there, and like now. You can see the relief draining out of my body, right? Like I have been enjoying time spending with Caleb playing villainous. I see there's hope on the horizon for our house, right? We're going on the cruise and I know that I'm about to have a week of relaxation. Like a lot of things are just, I'm able to let go. And I think that is really important. And I'm so thankful, Andy, that you're noticing what I noticed, which is you're doing fantastic and don't stress about it. Because I think that more than having your diet absolutely perfect, I think that in stressful seasons, we need some rest. We need some relief.
Next one's from Jeannie.
Hey, Jeannie.
Jenny. Last Thursday, I ate healthy, but Friday through Sunday were a mixed bag. The food on Friday and Saturday was mostly good, but some of the ingredients were wonky. On Sunday, I had bacon and eggs for brunch, but fast food for supper. However, I still feel good about my progress. It's so much better than earlier in the month. Not only have I been eating mostly well, but also the fast food habit has been broken long enough that there's no brain chatter or physical cravings for fast food today. Just back to my normal, healthy schedule. It's a non-scale victory.
That is a victory indeed. And I'm thankful that you've taken time to note it because that could just pass and all you could focus on is like, well, I had something less than perfect this past week. And that would really be sad for you to do that.
Okay, and next one is from Bonnie. I should have put this one earlier.
Okay.
But this is why I said we're not going to tell you about the giveaway till the end of the video.
All right.
Because I wanted to make sure you heard this one. Because last week we were talking about compound pharmacies, and what I see is a problem online with, semi-glatitudes. And not just that, you're seeing it with every kind of medication you can think of.
Sure.
And so Bonnie stated this perfectly, and I feel the same way. I was not trying to knock local compound pharmacies. We were specifically talking about these online things. So she said local compound pharmacies as a whole are not bad. And like I said, I have used them. Please don't fear a locally owned pharmacy who compounds your bioidentical hormone cream, flavor your child's antibiotic, mixes magic butt cream for diaper rash, or magic mouthwash for people with oral cancer. You even used it for your HRT when you were doing HRT.
Yes, I did.
These are good people making pharmaceuticals that are not commercially manufactured, which is exactly what the law allows.
Sure does.
100% correct. What gets sketchy is when it is a place that is making something that is commercially available.
Hello.
And you don't even need to see a physician to get it.
Right.
Those people are trying to bend laws to suit their needs. If they are willing to do that, I also question their integrity when it comes to quality control in making something that you would consider injecting into your body.
Wow.
Mic drop.
Wow, Bonnie.
And that is my problem.
What a great way of articulating the concern. Yeah, there it is. There it is. I get it. I understand that, like, in cloak of night with a computer, I can send my request. I would like to lose a lot of weight fast, please. And I don't have to see a doctor that tells me, like, maybe this isn't a great idea. Like, I don't have to talk to anybody, right? I can just send it off and it comes in the mail and I just start taking it and nobody is checking. Nobody is checking for interactions with anything. Nobody is questioning me. It's just no one even knows like what pre-existing conditions that I might have, right?
And again, we're not going to get into my personal thoughts on Ozempic and things like that. I've said all the time.
Yeah.
I think it's a miracle drug when used as intended.
There you go.
If you want to utilize something like Wegovy, Ozempic, or something like that, please go to a doctor.
Please.
Do not use these online companies, okay? Because again, most of them, and I have investigated several of them, going all the way down to see how far I can get, hitting the payment button, okay? I tried 6 of them, and all but one never even asked me for labs. None of them. Like literally, I answered a few basic medical questions, which, let's be honest, if you're trying to lose weight, you're going to lie.
Yeah, you can just lie about it.
I'm going to lie, right? I'm going to lie. You know, have you ever used alcohol in your life? Well,
no.
If I say yes, does that mean I don't get it? Nope.
No.
You know?
Never touch this stuff.
We have to be honest. So you need to go to your doctor who can oversee the treatment. Is it going to cost you more? Probably.
Yeah.
But isn't your health worth that? If this is that important to you, isn't your health worth that little bit of extra money? He might even be able to find a local compound pharmacy that can do it for you. But at least you're under direct medical supervision. I have a hard time dealing with a company where literally you go on, you're probably not talking to a doctor. It's probably a DO or a nurse practitioner. Who knows?
If that.
You don't even know. And you answer a couple of questions and you go, your medication's on the way, and do this. And like, that's where my issue is. And like what Bonnie is talking about, it's like, what else are they doing? They're manipulating the law. As a sports official, I've always said, the best coach is an official. Why? Because I know all of the rules. Like, I would make a phenomenal lacrosse coach or a phenomenal football coach. I was a great baseball coach. Why? Because I was also an umpire, because I'm an official and I know every single rule because that's my job. And because I know every rule,
gives you advantage.
I know how to manipulate the rules.
Yeah.
Okay, it's not cheating. I'm using the rules to my advantage that most people don't even know exist. And that's what these pharmacies are doing. These laws for compound pharmacies are in existence so that, like Bonnie said,
somebody good,
you can mix up certain things for HRT or add flavoring into a medication that your child absolutely needs but tastes like garbage. That's what it's there for. Not for some company to make up a drug that is actually available. And I don't have a lot of nice things to say about pharmaceutical companies. However, we do need some pharmaceuticals. And they basically what they're doing is they're stealing from them. These pharmaceutical companies only get a 4-year patent, and then anybody can make it, and you're basically
that's
stealing
what we're
from
seeing.
them.
That's what we're seeing now.
So, okay, next one we have is from Kay.
Hey, Kay.
How do you get your air fryer to remind you to flip? So some air fryers actually have a setting.
They beep.
I don't even know I think the Tasty might. I never hear the setting. I never hear the beep. You know, I mean, even like our microwave would have a thing like, you know, if you were defrosting, like where you're supposed to turn it over.
Right.
Who hears that? You hit the go and then you walk into another room.
I'm doing
My
laundry.
advice is set a timer on your phone.
Yeah.
Or on your watch.
Right.
Or whatever. I mean, it's rare that we're not near a phone or wearing our watch, but
isn't that sad?
The alarms on our phones are obnoxiously loud and annoying and don't shut up until you actually answer it, as opposed to, like, for example, in a microwave or an air fryer, when it's done and it beep and then it beeps again like in 10 minutes and by then it's too late.
It's not obnoxious enough.
Right.
Clearly.
Next one from Bonita.
Hey, Bonita.
Me and my husband are so fortunate. We are chicken farmers, egg producers. We have a cousin that raises pigs, and we have a close friend that has cows, which was once ours. We sold all of them to him. My uncle hunts deer on our land, and he always gives us deer meat for thanks for letting him hunt. We're very blessed.
Thank you for taking a moment to acknowledge the blessings in your life. We all need to do that. If in this area, in the grocery area, it looks like you are perfectly set up for your way of eating, and you're taking time to acknowledge that. And I think that's really precious. For people that may not be in your position, there's something else going correctly, going right, going great in their life. Will they do what you're doing and take time to acknowledge the blessing, or will they focus on what they don't have? That is the challenge. And when we go back to Debbie's mic drop comment about having a positive attitude, not just about yourself, but of all of the circumstance that surrounds you that makes up your life.
Yeah. Okay, last one we have is from Really Neurodivergent.
Love it.
Eggs and chicken are about all I can afford as beef prices are already skyrocketing. I love chili.
Nice.
So as we talked about a little bit earlier, I do not believe keto is expensive. I do understand beef is expensive. Here's the good news is you can absolutely do keto on eggs and chicken.
Sure can.
Can beef be healthier? Yes. But don't be afraid to buy special meat. Okay, and what we call special meat is this stuff that's got the sticker of like used by tomorrow.
Right.
Buy it, cook it, or buy it and freeze it.
Yeah,
okay?
that's what we do.
But you can buy it, cook it, and then freeze it if you want. But don't be afraid to use that. Don't be afraid to buy feedlot meat.
Yeah.
Eating feedlot meat, and when I mean just commercially raised, like where they are spending 30% of their life in a feedlot.
Walmart chub.
Right? Don't be afraid to use that. It is still healthier than the standard American diet. And don't let anybody tell you that it's not. Don't let anybody tell you that, well, you're better off eating a bagel than eating hot dogs.
No.
That's just not true. Okay? Whatever you can afford is what you do. So eat eggs and chicken. I love eggs and chicken.
Me too.
Okay? I eat chicken a couple of days a week at minimum. But when you can find some cheap beef, ground beef, this was off of a video where we were showing different things to do with ground beef. If you can find some discounted ground beef for $3 a pound, buy it. You know, the way eggs are going right now, soon beef will be cheaper than eggs.
Well, and my advice is always go set your alarm and go to your grocery store early in the morning. It's early in the morning before the store opens that everybody goes through all of the refrigerated section in the meat department, and they decide, okay, based on the date, we need to mark this meat down. So if you're first to the grocery store, you're going to be able to scoop up all the deals. We've found it at Publix, we found it at Winn-Dixie. Aldi certainly does it like that. So just be in there first, and then you have more of a chance.
Make friends with somebody who works there. So
Yes.
years ago, Rachel worked in Aldi. And when Rachel worked in Aldi, she would get to work at 7 a.m. or whatever it was.
6.
And by an hour after she got there, I'm getting a text message from her. This is going to be on clearance, and this is going to be on clearance, and this is going to be on clearance.
Get on down
and
here.
when that store opened,
Guess who was
I was
first in
up
line?
there buying everything that was on clearance. And what a lot of people don't know is that in Aldi, the manager actually gets to determine it. It's not like an overall corporate policy.
Yeah, so I mean, it's up to his discretion. So when you find that there is a manager, it seems like, gosh, at this store, it seems like things are marked down a lot quicker and easier, and there's more markdown stuff here than at other stores. It's the manager. It's at their discretion, and they can move things in their store the way that they want to. So that's your store. Stay tuned into that. And I will say that sometimes I would text you just because I wanted to see you first in the morning.
Thank you. So, but like I said, make friends. If you could make friends, buy somebody a cup of coffee that works, or you can buy us a cup of coffee down below in the comment section. But buy them coffee or something like that, and when you make friends with them, a lot of times they may give you that little heads up, hey, this is on clearance. We have definitely done that in the past. Okay, so we've reached the end of Keto Beyond the Couch. What are we going to give away? So as we've cleaned up this house, we have a lot of keto chow. So what we're going to do is we're going to pick 2 random winners out of the comment section below. So number 1, you do need to be subscribed to the channel, and you do need to live in the United States. Then what you're going to do is you're going to go down below and you're going to leave a comment, and we are going to just send you a random giant care package of whatever we can fit into a priority mail medium-sized box.
That's right.
As much as we can fit into that box
Is coming your way.
is going to come your way. What flavors? I don't know, because a lot of it is all packed up. So we're going to open up that box, we're going to grab, and we're going to shove in there. But it will be multiple different
And
things.
it's free, so if you don't like it.
Now, I will be honest up front. Some of it may be back past the packaged best by date. But remember this. Keto Chow last year learned that everything is good for, I think it's at least 2 or maybe even 3 years past the date that is stamped on those. So you can, whatever date is on there, you can add at least 2 years to it. Also, that is a best by date. It is not a you're gonna die if you consume it afterwards. It's
not gonna make you sick.
So what does that mean? So they've had it tested 5 years, I believe, is what it's at right now. At that point, the only thing that could possibly happen is you could begin possibly to have a degradation of the vitamins. So you have half-lives and things like that, and so after beyond a best by date, you might not get the same amount of vitamins as when it is fresh, but the product itself is good. Like, I'm still consuming Keto Chow that had a best by date of 4 years ago.
Of course.
And it doesn't get you sick. It's not like the milk proteins are bad or anything like that. It's all about the quality of the vitamins. But again, Keto Chow has had everything tested, and so all of the dates that were on some of those packages, you can safely add 2 years to it. So I want to be upfront and say some of it you may look and go, well, this expired in 2024.
What a great gift,
you
Rachel.
You can add 2 years to whatever the date is on those packages, unless it's a flavor that just came out in the last year or so.
Right.
Okay. So that's what you're gonna do, and then we are going to pick the winner when we get back from the cruise. We'll actually do it next Monday for Keto Beyond the Couch. So again, we're gonna pick 2 winners to celebrate the 300th episode of Keto Beyond the Couch. Now, if you like seeing videos like this, please do us a favor, take a look at the video we have right over there. Also, make sure you take a look at our most recent video I'm going to put right over here.
But whether you head this way or you head this way, don't forget to head this way. Subscribe to our channel and click the little bell icon, and that way, every single time we do something 300 times in a row, you'll be alerted to it.
Till next time.
Bye.